Hi everybody, I'm Trouble and I help people through their awakenings and all the craziness that goes along with it. And what I do to do that is I tell stories about, my awakenings, and I haven't really got into too much yet because I'm just starting this channel. So I'm sure I'm going to look back at these videos and think, oh my god, because I really don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I want to help people and I know that I'm here for a reason. So, what I want to do today is I have a lot of gifts, and one of the things that I used to do is auto drawing. And there was times when I would do nothing but draw for long periods of a time, and it would just be to draw. Now, all the pictures that I wasn't drawing for someone for a reading, I would just put in a pile and keep track of them and keep a hold of them. I had thousands of drawings. In the craziness of my life, my whole life's been an awakening, those got thrown away. And I don't think the person that did it really realized how important those drawings were, because I could find a drawing and it could be dated for 5 years ago, but on the day that I find it, something on that paper is going to be something that I'm going through in my life. It's like I'm drawing my life, kind of. It's crazy. But this one right here is the craziest, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to put it up on the screen, and there's a couple other ones because you can't really see what's down in the bottom there. But if you notice, I drew a picture of a girl sitting on a carpet, and that in my mind was like her magic carpet, wishing she could just take off and go, because as you can see, she's sad, she's crying, she's looking in the mirror, and and then I put, what do you see when you look in the mirror? As you can see, coming out of the sun is someone with their fist raised, like they're coming down to save you. That's the way I took it. And there's a tornado there also. And down on the other side, you can't see very well, but I'll put those pictures up there. It's someone that is in chains, and their feet are on blocks. And I never knew what that little thing right there was, but that to me now I know is a pipe. A drug pipe. Was mine. But so I did this. It was either, I can't see because I don't have my reading glasses on right now, but I drew this either May 24th or May 27th of 2017. Right after I drew this, maybe a week or two later, I had this weird dream. I was dreaming and I heard this knock on the door. I went to the door, I opened it, and there was this big, huge bear head. It was just the head, and it was a big bear head, and it was brown bear, and you could tell it was old and worn looking. He looked like he was old, and he looked really mad, but I wasn't afraid of him. He didn't scare me, and I just seen him, and then I woke up, and I'm like, I still don't know what that bear means, other than I know a bear, and definitely the white wolf. The white wolf is the power the white wolf has over me is I turn into water. I mean, I'm powerless for the white wolf, but I know the bear is probably one of my animal spirits. And and then not long after that, here's the thing, I might have to put this in 2 parts, but the relationship that I was in was really, really, really bad. I'm not gonna go there, and I'm not gonna say names, but it was horrible. And I was in West Virginia, I believe, and I was like probably over an hour away from my kids or anybody that I knew, and my relationship was horrible, and it was so horrible, my depression was back, and I found a place right down by the creek that was beautiful, and that's where I was going to die. And I know that all this here happened to save me, basically, because I've struggled with this depression my whole life, and now I know why. Because that was keeping me from figuring, remembering who I am. Well, I've been told who I am my whole life. It's just putting my belief to believe it. You know what I'm saying? And even if I do, I don't know if I'm ready to share that yet. Because I really don't know. I mean, it's still all my learning process here. But, so what happened was one day, and this dude was so mean. Like, before he'd leave for work, he would make sure he would wake me up and screaming out at me and be as mean as he can to me just to make sure I was crying before he went to work. And I don't, I, I don't know how I end up with horrible people like that. But on the outside, that's the way narcissists work. They make you think they're the nicest goddamn people in the world, and they're, oh my god, you don't know anybody till you live with them. And then by then, it's usually too late. And I just don't want people to see people get stuck in bad situations like I was. So that's why I'm here. But so then after he would do that and he would leave for work, I would go out on a porch with my cats and I'd take out my tarot deck and I'd just sit there and I'd go through my cards. And the one day I went through the whole deck and going through the whole deck, and when I got to that last card, I was like, and I can't explain this feeling that came over me, but I was like, whoa. And it was just like I just felt this rush go through my body, and I can't explain how it felt. And then I heard that tarot deck was made for you, and the tarot deck is made for us because, and it is made for me because my deck talks to me. If I want to know something, I pick this deck. Here's my emperor. He's always here. But yeah, so I believe this tarot was made for me, and that's also when I was told quite a few different things. I was told that, the God that everybody, the God that right after the tarot thing and seeing that, I started to go into trances, and in these trances, this will all get explained later. I guess I'm going to have to tell the story, because this is what started it. But I was going into trances, and I was being told a lot of things, like the God that everybody prays to is really the one that everyone's the most afraid of. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Some people are going to feel really bad about bad things they've said about this person. And then this voice came to me. Like, I was told that I was going to be communicated with through technology, through my cell phone. I had an iPad at the time, a laptop, computer. That's how I was going to be communicated with soon. And that's how they were communicating with me that day also. But not only that way. Like, I could feel the presence of so many people around me, but I couldn't see any of them, but I knew they were there. And I don't know how to explain when you're in a trance, because it's just like you're totally awake, but you just feel you're just like in a fog of whatever they want to show you. You know what I mean? And so this lady's voice, I started to hear this lady's voice, and her voice said, first thing she said to me was, I know you don't like to be the center of attention, and I don't. I never did. But please just make sure you do what you're here to do, because what you do helps so many people. And she was saying that I was going to find the other half of my soul, if there is such a thing. But it's not the way I think it is, and it's not what I think it is. Boy, that was back in 2017, and boy, it was not what I thought. It was something totally different. But then she told me, she told me that it's going to be very sad for people to lose me when I do die, and I took that as I was going to die before I got to meet my other half, and I was like, no, if I'm not going to get to meet him, I just want to die now, and I'll just go kill myself right now. And she's like, no, calm down. You're going to get together. You're going to live out the rest of your lives here on Earth. But you will die. It's inevitable. Everybody dies. We know this. But it's going to be really sad. And she said at the time that me and him get together, it's going to be such an emotional time. And she said there's going to be such strong emotions going through both of us. That we're going to have a lot of support, and it's going to be okay, but to be prepared. And I don't know what that means. I'm almost at the end of my time limit, so I'm going to have to do part 2. So if you want to hear the rest of this crazy story, watch for part 2. Love you.